know you're somewhere.
Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. Today, Taurus, I'm just gonna be pulling cards for you guys for the end of December. I never do like time, like mark anything with time, but I don't know, I just felt like doing it this way. So your archetype for the end of December is the vow. I think you could look at this two ways. You could obviously look at this as a vow that you make with someone else. Like there are two hands. It looks like, you know, it looks like four hands, honestly. I don't even know. But, you know, that's two people. So this could be about some sort of contract, or this can be about some sort of commitment that you make to another Taurus at the end of the year. I'm also getting like the vows that you make to yourself, like the vows that you say to yourself. Like, you know, when you're going to do something, I'm thinking like any like group that you join, right? I'm thinking of when I joined the Girl Scouts. I don't know, it's so random, but like when you join the Girl Scouts, it's like literally in kindergarten, you have to make a vow. Like you say the Girl Scout vow or something. I can't remember what it was, but you put 3 fingers up. I'm pretty sure it's like, why can't I do it? It's like 3 fingers, I think, and you say some sort of oath every time, like you're like I don't know, when you're joining Girl Scouts, and like anytime they have like this big thing going on, they always say this vow. It's like they recite something, and words are supposed to mean something, right? At the end of the day, like you're reciting it for a reason. You're vowing to live by the Girl Scout code or the Girl Scout honor, or whatever. I can't remember what it was, to be honest. It's been so long, but yeah, I'm kind of getting that for you guys. Like, again, I'm getting like it could be in so many ways, right? Like commitment that you make to yourself, the commitments that you make towards others, or someone that you love, right? But I feel like at this end of the year, you're going to be contemplating like the words that you say to yourself, like the promises that you've made to yourself. Like a lot of us say like, you know, today I'm going to do something, and then we end up procrastinating. Sometimes we don't do it, or sometimes we do accomplish it and then we're like not fulfilled, right? So I feel like this end of the year in December, right? Like this energy for December, I think it has a lot to do with words, even though, you know, it feels really physical, this card. And with the white bird, it feels divine at the same time. I feel like it has a lot to do with the words that we say to ourselves. And some of us, like, we lie to ourselves, which is not obviously good for us. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of lies that maybe some of us have told ourselves this year. And then again, if you can't keep a promise to yourself, how can you keep one to someone else? Like, how can you make one with another person? So I feel like this has a lot to do with like the words we tell ourselves and the words that we say when we are talking to others, and just like our commitment overall to whatever it is that we're working on, or to the people that we have in our lives. And I feel like that relationships are going to be the main thing. Like, again, the relationship you have with yourself is the most important, but I feel like at the end of December, relationships are going to really come into, you know, they're going to come into view, which I feel like Aries was similar at the same time. Like, to be honest, I felt like they didn't want to admit it, Aries, but I feel like Aries' read was a lot about how at this time of year, they're thinking about how their life could be different. And I feel like for you guys, I think you might actually make some sort of concrete plan, or you have some sort of plan that you've been like saying to yourself that you're going to do, and you maybe haven't done it. Or some sort of promise maybe you made to somebody else and you still haven't done it. But there's definitely some sort of promise or a commitment here that you either made to yourself or you made to somebody else. And I feel like you really want to fulfill it. Like, I don't know if you have yet, or maybe you're like in the process of doing it, but I feel like that's what this December is all about. Like, the words that you say to yourself, are you going to uphold them? Let's just say you said to yourself, you know, I'm gonna say something stupid, but it could be anything. Like, obviously I think it's gonna be more important than this, but it's like, yeah, I'm gonna vacuum every like Saturday, right? Like, do you even do that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what words do you say to yourself, and do you uphold them? That's what I'm getting, Taurus. Like, I'm getting a lot of like, what promises do we make to ourselves? What promises do we make to others? So let's pull a little bit more on this, Taurus. All right, Taurus. So this is like a lot. I feel like us starting with the Ace of Cups in reverse, with the Five of Swords in reverse, I'm getting two things. So I'm going to go with the first story and then, you know, I'll go with the second story. I don't know how many stories I'm going to get, but I'm getting like one person here who they never wanted to make a promise that they couldn't keep. So they didn't make any promises at all. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, you know what? I don't want to say like I'll be there. I don't want to make this commitment. I don't want to budge because I don't know if I can uphold any of that. And I don't want to be a liar. Like, I don't want to be someone who backs out of their word. And the worst thing in the world that a person could be is a liar or some, somebody who is dishonest. I don't want to be that person. So I'm just going to stay where I am. And in staying where you have been, you think like you're better than those who have gone forward and made mistakes. And I feel like that's not right. You know what I mean? Because you see, you're going to end up at the Three of Swords anyway. So I see somebody here who's like very sure that like, they're the type of person that's never gonna, like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to make mistakes. I'm an honorable person. So in essence, like, you're just not doing anything. You know what I mean? You're not moving. And I feel like that's kind of been the problem. A lot of you guys are like, oh my God, like if I could go back and do something differently, maybe I would. And I feel, again, this stubborn ass energy. Of course, Taurus, you would get this Four of Pentacles, where this is the energy of like, you can't be like swayed or persuaded to do something differently. I feel like someone here who just thinks that they're better than others because like they haven't been found out lying, or they've never been found cheating, or they've never been found doing this or that. But I feel like the reason you've never been found doing any of these things or being dishonorable or being a liar is because you've never like, you're not putting yourself in any situations at all. Like, you're just somebody who's like letting life pass you by, kind of, and you're judging others for, well, like you fucked up, haha, you fucked up, haha. But it's like you're not really living your life at all. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's, of course, it's easy not to fuck up when you're not doing anything. So I feel like I'm getting that energy for somebody here, and I feel like obviously you guys are thinking of redoing things. You know, maybe it would be worth it because like you still ended up here anyway. You still ended up unhappy anyway. Like you might be here and you haven't done anything to anybody, you haven't hurt anybody, but you also haven't lived. Now, like for another group of you, I feel somebody here is like holding on to a lie, or holding on to somebody who broke a promise, or somebody here who, you know, did something wrong and, you know, whatever, like they fucked up, right? And they're like, yeah, you see, like, you messed up, and that's why we can't be together. You did this, you did that, you did this, you did that, like pointing the finger and shit like that. But that's still gonna lead you here. So it's like any way that you turn this, you're ending up at the Three of Swords, Taurus. And I feel like this year, I think you're gonna wanna do things very differently. Because, yeah, like, I don't feel like you guys have had the victory that you guys have wanted necessarily this year. And maybe you haven't experienced the love that you wanted this year, because maybe somebody here is holding on to somebody's, you know, hurt or somebody's pain or something that fell through. And it's like, oh, you know, I would have never done this to you, but the fact that you did this to me, I just feel somebody who's just like, you know, they're still hurt over something that happened in the past. They're still holding on to something that happened, the mistake that was made. And it's like, people make mistakes. People are not born perfect. People have to, you know, make mistakes in order to learn. And, you know, you can look at a mistake in a different way. You can look at a mistake as a blessing, a chance to learn, a chance to do things better the next time. But I feel like, Taurus, you haven't really given people space for that. And I feel like that's something in the year to come that you're going to want to think about. Like, the fact that people are not perfect, the fact that people do make mistakes, the fact that you are allowed to make mistakes, the fact that, you know, in love, you're going to get hurt. And in love, people are going to fuck up. And that's just the reality. And do you want to be a part of life or not? Like, do you want to be a part of friendships and families and commitments and shit like that? Well, then be prepared to get hurt and disappointed. But just know that that's just the reality. We're humans. You know what I mean? And I see you contemplating like what to do next. Like, did your year come out the way that you wanted it to come out? Did things go the way that you wanted it to go? And I feel like a lot of you guys are sitting here like, no. Not necessarily. And I feel like it's because somebody here is holding on to something from the past that needs to be let go. 100%. Like, just because you didn't do anything this year in terms of making any leaps of love, right? Or going anywhere. Where I feel somebody could have also been very non-committal. Like, you know, not like a player, but maybe even a player. and just saying like, I'm never gonna get married. I never want to, you know, have I don't want to get married because I don't want to deal with heartbreak. You know what I mean? And I don't want to deal with somebody disappointing me. So I'd rather just kind of have these empty relationships. But now you're looking at life and it's like, you're just unfulfilled. So I see a lot of Taurus, like this is, you know, you thinking about how you can do things differently. And I feel like the first step would be to, I want to say like make mistakes and understand that it's okay to make mistakes, Taurus. In any regard, in any way, like when it comes to relationships, when it comes to life, like just understand that like we all hate to break promises and we all hate to be like that person, but you can't break a vow if you've never even like made one. I feel like you haven't even gotten to this point yet. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's like such a deep read. Like I thought it was gonna be something like super happy, and I'm sorry it's not. I do see you guys doing things differently though. I do see you guys like thinking of in the year to come, like how can I do things differently? Like how can I like move forward in my life? And yeah, in order to have this victory, I feel like it comes with a commitment. It comes with making these promises, even though like we might break them. I feel like, again, you can't experience life without at least trying, right? So I feel like this end of the year, for a lot of you guys, you might have been dealing with some sort of illness or some sort of injury, and they're saying that you're going to be healed of this. Now I feel a lot of you guys, this could be very much of the mind, of the heart, right? Like I feel like this is a huge heart blockage right here. Like again, you might think it's of the mind. We do have swords out here, but I feel like it just stems from the heart. So I feel like Taurus, this is going to be a chance for you guys to unblock the heart. There's a lot of green here. So again, I'm getting a lot of heart chakra. A lot of you guys are going to heal your heart this year and understand that like in order to go forward, maybe this year wasn't as fulfilling as you wanted it to be because you were holding back a lot, because you were really afraid of loving again. If you were really afraid of like somebody breaking your heart, you were afraid of like what happened from the past. And I feel like this healing is really of the heart. And then a blessing for good men and fathers. A lot of you guys maybe, again, I feel like a lot of you guys, this could be for two people. It could be for somebody who, they want to be somebody who does the right thing always. They want to be the one that people look up to and like who never makes mistakes, who never breaks promises. But again, understand that we're human, right? So I feel like you are already blessed in this way because you're already thinking of it. You're already conscious of like your actions. So again, if you did make a mistake, it's okay. And then I feel like this is for the feminines as well. Like if you're looking for somebody to get into a higher level of commitment, I feel like you're not going to be as afraid of like jumping into a relationship next year, because again, you really do want, I feel like, somebody to share your life with, Taurus. And I feel like you're tired of like going back to this painful event from the past that had like broken your heart and, you know, not moving forward and just kind of standing still. It has led you nowhere. You know what I mean? You've just been stuck. So I feel like this end of the year, it's going to be a really big like unraveling of like emotions and heart energy so that you can go forward next year very much like with a goal of participating more and maybe finding the person that you feel is like right for you. So that's why I'm getting, Taurus. I love you guys. I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time. Bye.